Hi Capricorn, welcome to Carol's Universe Tarot Readings from the Heart. Thanks ever so much for joining me on your November 2017 General Gypsy Tarot Love Spread. Sorry that I couldn't upload mid-months for some of the signs. I was really inundated and I couldn't, I just didn't have the time to get everybody in. So this is why the earth signs are coming up first. A lot of the signs are coming up before sort of Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces that were uploaded for mid-month. So you're going to have a look just in general what's happening around your love lives in November 2017. And also you get a general reading, and if I've got time mid-month November we'll do another reading. You've got your year aheads coming up anyway for 2018 live spread that I'm working on. I'm in the process of working on. So let's have a look for you guys. So Universe Spirit, what's happening for Capricorn and love? Show me Capricorn and love, November 2017. Show me Capricorn and love. What's happening for Capricorn and love in November 2017? What's happening for Capricorn and love? Show me Capricorn, Sun, Moon and Rising signs. Capricorn, Sun, Moon and Rising signs. Capricorn, Sun, Moon and Rising signs in terms of their love lives in November 2017. And a 21 card Gypsy Tarot spread, show me. Alright, we're going to split the deck into three, Capricorn, like so. 1, 2, 3. And what we're going to do, we're going to start just laying the cards out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Well, I hate it when that happens. It veers off a little bit. I like the cards to be centered. Let's just push these along a little bit here. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Okay, so there we go. Okay. Alright, let's have a look for you guys. I think that there's some stuff that you guys might be working on this month, okay? But whatever it is that you're working on seems to be leaving you guys none the wiser. You're still bound by something here, I feel. Mentally and emotionally, what's the situation going on around you guys? Well, it's about the Nine of Cups. So the Nine of Cups is about wishes being fulfilled. In terms of love, this is about feeling smug and feeling satisfied in a relationship. If you get sort of, you know, Nine of Cups, Ace of Cups, those types of cards together, it says that you're feeling really good about a relationship. You feel that the person's the one. So the situation is about feeling really good with this Nine of Cups around a person or a relationship, whatever the case is with that Nine of Cups. Around that mentally and emotionally, the Karma card. So mentally and emotionally you feel free, you feel a sense of relief, you feel reborn, and it's around this. So the situation is there's good things happening around you guys with that Nine of Cups around the mental and emotional. It looks like wishes are being fulfilled for you guys, and mentally and emotionally you're feeling a sense of rebirth and rejuvenation with this Karma energy showing up here. And the reason for that is because of the Four of Cups. I think you've given up on a situation here with the Four of Cups in the reverse. Four of Cups in the reverse is where there is a missed opportunity or time runs out on a situation. The offer is no longer on the table. But I think that you guys are the one that has withdrawn something here, Capricorn, because you're the one that mentally and emotionally, you're mentally with the Karma card for me, because it's a card about rejuvenation and rebirth. Mentally it's almost like a weight has been lifted off your mind. You're feeling a sense of relief, and I feel that emotionally as well you're feeling that because of the Four of Cups. It's either that somebody that you didn't want is gone, or you've given up on a situation and you're feeling just about fine about that. Around your present situation, Capricorn, you've got the Star in the reverse. So this is all about a situation where there's no hope in it. One has given up hope, one lacks any faith in the situation with the Star, one no longer has an aspiration for something with the Star in the reverse. Can also be around an Aquarius individual, and around that the situation in the present is the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so it's interesting. Wheel of Fortune in terms of love speaks about fated situations, people that are fated to be together, but also it shows around the destiny. So when you're looking at the Wheel of Fortune, it's all about what is your path, what is your life path, what is your love path with the Wheel of Fortune, because it's a universal card. It's what the universe brings in for you. So I feel that the situation with this Star card is that there's no longer an investment in a situation here, and I'm seeing you guys have given up on here, and you're just fine about it. You feel good, it would seem to me, in this mental and emotional area here. And around the present, this is all about the Star in the reverse. It says, well, I'm no longer invested in this. I've given up all hope on it. This is something that cannot manifest something good for me. And around that, that being the situation, the present is showing that you're free. Again, it's about being free, because the Wheel of Fortune turns, and usually what you find is that when you tend to release a blockage, the universe comes in and it starts to bring good things in. So I think that the Wheel of Fortune is actually, as a result of this situation, being that something has been released, I feel, with this Star in the reverse, you'll find that around this, what's happening in the present is things seem to be changing for the better. And what's the reason for that? Well, because of the Five of Wands, and that's interesting because it's in the upright. But I feel that the Five of Wands is all about, usually it's about disputes and blockages, and I was talking about blockages before. I think because there was a blockage with the Five of Wands here showing up. I think there was something that was worrying you guys. I think there was something that was very difficult to find clarity on, to find some form of a resolution to, and I feel that there is a change occurring because this was occurring for you. In the hopes and desires, you've got the Three of Pentacles being the situation. So the Three of Pentacles is all about focusing on improvements. So Three of Pentacles can be third party situations, but it can also be with the Three of Pentacles. And it's an interesting way that the Witch's Tarot illustrates the Three of Pentacles, because it's one person who's studying something. So maybe the situation is that some of you guys are now studying something new. It doesn't necessarily, for me, because there's not three people on the card, it looks at somebody who's very intent, and they're very focused on studying something that's going to bring at some point some form of rewards. Around that, what are your hopes? The Queen of Swords. Now she's reversed, so usually she's a negative, because she talks about being a drama queen, or she talks about speaking ill about people. So this is a gossip, or this is somebody who doesn't know how to hold her tongue, and this is somebody who cuts people out, but usually she sits in her hurt. Around that, your hopes, this are the Queen of Swords in the reverse, and that's interesting. I would probably say with this Queen of Swords in the reverse, it's more about you and what you're doing here, and your hopes are to do something that's going to benefit you with the Queen of Swords in the reverse, because she's not somebody who, I think that your hopes are really to blank somebody out completely with this Queen of Swords being reversed, because she does tend to, when she's reversed, in the upright she tends to cut people out, but she tends to just get on with her life. Then she does things with an air of logic, and you can still feel pain with the Queen of Swords in the upright, but she tends to be the person that sits and she says, she's sort of like, well, I'm going to do something, I'm going to do the thing that I should have done before, and I'm going to do it totally by emotionally disconnecting myself. But in the reverse, for me, she's still connected some way emotionally. So it's really weird, but I think that your hopes are with this Queen of Swords in the reverse really just to be completely hard-ass on an individual with this Queen of Swords. I mean, completely block them off, just cut them completely dead with her showing in the reverse. And what's the reason for that? Because of the King of Cups, and I think that this is your energy. I think that it's because you're still in love with someone here with the King of Cups in the upright. I think that these aren't people, these are speaking about your energy, Capricorn. I think that you're still in love with an individual here, okay? But also the King of Cups can be where you're sitting in your emotional power, okay? But it's really weird, because she's not a particularly powerful queen when she's reversed, but for some reason she's showing as reversed, and your situation is the Three of Pentacles, okay? So I feel that you are studying and possibly focusing on developing, it could be new relationships or some form of improvement in your life with that Three of Pentacles energy showing there. Sometimes this is the card about socializing with others as well, and around that the hopes are to really cut somebody off completely, and that's because of the King of Cups energy. I think that you're trying to develop your emotional power here. your emotional strength with that King of Cups energy showing up here. But really, when I do readings, I try and look at the nuances of people. Not everybody is cut and dried. It doesn't mean that just because you cut somebody off, you're not somewhere along the line still emotionally invested in them. Sometimes you are. Sometimes you don't just cut somebody off and say, right, that's it, toodle pip, on to the next. Sometimes you cut somebody out, but there is still the residue of, you know, emotion there. There's still some form of emotional involvement. And I feel that what's happening here is you guys are trying to build yourself up emotionally with that King of Cups energy, which is why you're doing this. It is kind of with regret, but you're doing it nevertheless to build yourself up emotionally with that King of Cups. And also because your emotional intellect and intuition tells you that this is something that you're going to need to do. Around your expectations for love, you've got the Three of Cups, and the situation with the Three of Cups can be third-party situation, friendships and reconciliations. And what's the expectations around that Three of Cups? Well, it's the Seven of Wands. So for some reason you're expecting, I mean, this is all about groups and people and friendships, okay? So it might be as a result of those groups, people and friendships, your expectations will be to block certain people out, or block out the idea of building on new friendships here. And that's because of the Magician, but it could also be because of a reconciliation. So the situation might be about reconciliation here with the Three of Cups, but your expectations might be, well, I'm going to block that out because what I'm doing with the Magician, I'm setting some new intentions here. So I feel that this isn't, because here you seem to be wanting to perhaps invest in new connections with people with that Three of Pentacles, for example, and around that your hopes are to completely cut an individual out with the Queen of Swords. Even though it is with regret, your hopes will be to do this with this Queen of Swords in the reverse completely, because you're trying to build your emotional strength again with that King of Cups. And I feel that your expectations are, well, if there was a reconciliation being the situation, my expectations are that I would block this out with the Seven of Wands, because what I have now is an intention to do something new with this Magician energy showing here. And also because it might be that you feel that this person's quite manipulative. Magicians show as manipulative people. Around your hidden factors, what's coming in, Capricorn? Well, the Ten of Pentacles is the situation, so this is all about socializing, family, building very strong connections with that Ten of Pentacles. Around that, what you can't see coming in, or what the hidden aspects are showing around that, is the Ten of Swords. So this is about, perhaps this Ten of Pentacles is a long-term relationship with this Ten of Pentacles, something that was built up, but around that what you can't see coming in is an ending with that Ten of Pentacles. And it might be as well, because the Ten of Swords does refer to backstabbing as well, to be perfectly honest with you. So if some of you guys have been trying to build some solid connections with people, it might be around those solid connections that something doesn't quite work out the way that you would like it to with that Ten of Swords. And what's the reason for that? Well, because of the Ace of Cups. It's interesting. I feel that this is really saying that this isn't the new connections you're building. I think this is the old one that this is talking about, because around that something is over. Ten of Swords, it's finished, finito, because there's new love at the bottom of the card, of the deck, of the column, sorry, here. Okay, so I think something's finally over for you, because I think there's a potential for new love for some of you Capricorns coming in. Your immediate future shows the Tower, so this situation could be something quite big. It's going to create, I'm not always going to tell you that towers create chaos, because they don't. They really don't. Be careful of reading the Tower as chaos and destruction. It's not. Sometimes the Tower is just a surprise that comes in. Seriously, if you get it with something like the Page of Cups, it could be a surprise because you're getting a nice message, or you're getting something that you just didn't expect, or maybe even the Four of Wands sometimes is a surprise message, even though Tower and Four of Wands can usually be, you know, something's rocking a relationship, or, you know, falling apart of a relationship, or whatever it is, and the destabilization in the home or something like that. But usually this is not always about bad things, the Tower. We're seeing some major shift happening as the situation in the immediate future. Around that, what will that be? Well, the World. So the World is talking about the ending of a cycle, and what's the reason for that? No, it's because of the Two of Pentacles. The Two of Pentacles represents instability, yes, but it also represents when somebody's weighing things up. So it might be that you've got the Tower here saying that the situation will be a big surprise coming in, and around that big surprise it might be something that is being achieved. The World does mean ending of cycles, but it also means a big success story coming in, and that's based on the Two of Pentacles, which is interesting actually, because somebody's still keeping balls in the air. So and also this could be information coming, because this is written information is the Two of Pentacles, so there might be some information coming to you that you don't expect to come in with these cards potentially. It could be an ending of a cycle through maybe some information that's been coming in, maybe with this Two of Pentacles energy. The overall outcome shows the Empress. So the Empress is all about new relationships. It's all about opposites attracting and connections between two people who find each other very attractive. What's going on around that in the overall outcome? No, you've got the Three of Swords showing up here. So the Empress is the overall situation. Interesting. Can be waiting as well, because around that writing we're seeing this is the situation of the Empress, and around that Empress we're seeing some heartbreak here coming in. And what's that heartbreak based on? A King of Pentacles, Capricorn. Interesting reading. Let me just think about those energies at the end. You've got the Empress being the overall situation. For me, the Empress also represents when something is full and something now is ready to manifest with that Empress energy. And around that is, I mean, it's not in the reverse, so it's not showing something is being released here. It's showing some heartbreak and disappointment because of the King of Pentacles, because of an individual. Let me just get some clarity on that Empress card as the situation at the end. I'll just get 2 cards on that, Capricorn. What is the situation about with the Empress in the overall outcome? In 2 cards, what is the situation around the Empress in the overall outcome? Show me. Well, something's definitely being released. You've got 10 of Wands in the reverse. I think you're releasing your feelings on a situation. Okay, so 10 of Wands often means when you just drop it. You know, it means when you're releasing pressure, and that's over, I feel, that around your emotional investment in a situation. So the Empress being, I feel, the situation in the overall outcome is about feeling, it's about starting new things, possibly starting some new creative paths for some of you guys, developing new things in other areas. But around that is the Three of Swords showing up. I mean, it might be a third-party situation for some of you guys. It might be 3 people involved in the situation. You're dropping something here, so this would be new situation, I feel, coming in here for you guys in the overall outcome. But it's because of a King of Pentacles that this heartbreak is occurring. I want to see what the Three of Swords is about. What's the Three of Swords about? What's the Three of Swords about? In 2 cards, what is this Three of Swords about in the overall outcome? What are you trying to tell us about the Three of Swords in 2 cards? The Ace of Swords shows stagnation, and you've got Three of Swords again. Stagnation brings heartbreak. Ace of Swords, or lack of clarity, brings heartbreak. Interesting, it showed the Three of Swords again as your clarifying card here. The Ace of Swords in the reverse represents a lack of clarity, or it's a lie, or it's a stagnancy. It shows no change when the Ace of Swords is in the reverse. This brings heartbreak with the Three of Swords. Let me put this together. So, no, I think, you know what I think you're doing here? I think you're recognizing something here. I think that you're recognizing. Let me just shuffle on the King of Pentacles and we'll have a look at this. What is this King of Pentacles? Why is this King of Pentacles the reason for the Three of Swords in 2 cards from the top of the deck? Why is this King of Pentacles the reason for the Three of Swords in 2 cards? You had 2 cards show out, 10 of Pentacles in the reverse and Empress in the reverse. Okay, so this is about severance in a relationship, the 10 of Pentacles in the reverse. This is about the instability or destabilization of a relationship. And the Empress card often brings lack of nurturing, okay, or lack of care in terms of building a relationship or nurturing. So I feel what's happening here is you're going to experience the Empress in the overall outcome. So the situation will be the Empress, and I feel that this is you guys here sitting in your value, in your power. I feel the Empress is, for some of you guys, focusing on new creations going forward, in November, because I feel that you're releasing your emotional involvement in a situation. And around that, I feel that this Three of Swords is saying, around that recognition with that Empress energy, it's about the Three of Swords, heartbreak, and that there is going to be no resolution to this situation here with the Ace of Swords and the Three of Swords. And that is because of a King of Pentacles. And that King of Pentacles, he's showing up, he or she is showing up, because for them, destabilization in this relationship cannot be, it can't be resolved with the Empress in the reverse. The Empress in the reverse represents an ill relationship, a sick relationship, a relationship that doesn't have the potential for growth. It represents weakness and the inability to nurture or to tend the crops and have them grow healthy. So I think that this person here is, and this could be you as well, just recognizing that there's nowhere to go with this situation. And it's almost like, because you'll experience the situation is the Empress, and this is really about developing new ways to enjoy your life, whether it's through creativity, whether it's through new relationships, whatever it is. This Empresses represent new beginnings in life. So what you're doing with the Empress, it's like a magician or an ace. It represents starting to create something in your life of abundance, being that situation. And around that energy being the situation, the focus is on the Three of Swords. So this Three of Swords is saying to me that the situation is about you guys creating new abundance here. Around that energy is about the Three of Swords. And this is about, because you're dropping the pressure here. You're dropping your feelings, I feel. Queen of Cups is all about emotional investment. The Ten of Wands is about dropping the pressure. So the pressure is dropping in terms of your emotional investment. You no longer believe in something here. And around that energy, we have it being about the Three of Swords, about the heartbreak in a situation, because the Ace of Swords, lack of trust, lack of truth, lack of clarity is bringing in this difficult energy of the Three of Swords. It's bringing in the disharmony and the discontentment, and that's because either you or somebody around you, could be another earth sign, Capricorn, well, there's severance in a relationship with that Ten of Coins in the reverse, and that severance is really kind of, it doesn't bring the ability to actually tend or nurture the relationship. So there's people at loggerheads here, and there's no way for you to actually start nurturing this relationship in the outcome. And I think that you definitely recognize that. So it's all about self-recognition, I feel, and recognizing that something really isn't going to work here. I want to see what this World card is about though here as well. So we've got the Tower showing up as the situation. What's the Tower about in the immediate future? You said the Tower is the situation around the immediate future for Capricorn. In two cards, what's this Tower about? The World in the reverse. So there's still unfinished business here. So there's a surprise coming, and I feel it's about unfinished business with the World card, with the King of Cups in the reverse. I think you've got unfinished business, possibly with a very strong manipulative energy around you. Okay, and around that is the World. And what is the World about in two cards? What is the World about in two cards? The Ace of Wands in the reverse. Okay, so and the Five of Swords in the reverse. So whatever this Ace of Wands is, Ace of Wands represents something that starts but stops real quick, or it represents a lack of enthusiasm, or a project that doesn't get off the ground. Okay, so something that's not got off the ground here is there's been some form of a reconciliation, or been some form of resolution over this. So Ace of Wands in the reverse, this is something that has not started or lost its spark, is now, there's a resolution on something that, so I'm seeing an ending of a cycle happening here for some reason. Let's try and put these together. You've got the immediate future, Capricorn, as being the situation is around the Tower. There's a surprise coming, because I feel that there's an unresolved issue here with the World card in the reverse. There's unfinished business with possibly a very manipulative individual showing up here for you guys as being the situation. And around that situation, it's about drawing this thing to a close with the World card in the reverse over a matter, and the situation within that, the clarifier on that is that some form of lost spark is now being resolved. So there's a resolution going on here for you guys, and that's because of the Two of Pentacles. And what's the Two of Pentacles about? What's this situation with the Two of Pentacles about as the reason for the world? What's the Two of Pentacles about as the reason for the world? Show me. The moon. So there's something being revealed to you here. The moon is in, and it should be, I think the truth will set you free. Okay, because the Page of Wands is usually good news, but it's also a card about a freedom seeker. So this is the truth, the moon card. And if I were to read it maybe as a combination, this is the truth. Even if I had the Fool here, it would be the truth, the moon in the reverse will set you free here. The Two of Pentacles is about the truth setting you free. So there might be some communication or something like that coming in for some of you guys here with this Two of Pentacles. And I think it's because somebody's been weighing something up here. Alright, because the Two of Pentacles often shows up when it's kind of like you're weighing up yes, no, good, bad, no, yes, maybe, maybe not, that type of thing as well. Could also be on financial aspects as well. Maybe it's some instability around finances, maybe for the partner or something like that. But around this area here, whatever is being weighed up or is being looked at more closely with that Two of Pentacles, whether it's through information, whether it's a money situation, whether it's somebody who's weighing something up. The reason that this is showing up is because there's some information coming out with that moon card, and I feel that it's going to be setting you guys free with that Page of Wands energy, because the Page of Wands is walking out of the moon in the reverse as well. He's looking ahead basically, and he's funny because he's looking ahead at the Ten of Pentacles. Okay, so it's almost like the truth is setting you free over a situation whereby there is, you know, discord, Ten of Pentacles, that cannot be resolved with this Empress in the reverse. Interesting reading. We're going to get this again. Very, very interesting reading indeed. Your first three cards, I was looking at the general, for your general energies. I think there's a secret or there's some confusion here that requires some form of hard work and effort in order to try and resolve it. Okay, because we've got the first three cards that showed up for you guys as the energies around you was the moon energy showing here, and the moon is all about secrets, or it's about anxiety or lack of clarity. Okay, and I feel that it requires with you guys hard work and effort, and this hard work is and attention is being put onto this Eight of Swords. How do you resolve the Eight of Swords? Something that is being binding an individual. I mean, there's hard work towards resolving this. The Eight of Swords is also about mental limitations and restrictions. So I feel that was some confusion, or there'll be some confusion around you guys, and it requires hard work, effort, application and focus in order to kind of get you out of this mental or physical bind, whatever the situation is with you guys. Okay, and I can see that the Page of Swords is striking in. I just pulled another card on that Eight of Swords there, and this is a truth teller. So I feel that the truth is definitely going to be setting you free, okay, in the situation, because I'm seeing that there is confusion here, and there is the need for hard work, application and focus to possibly try and resolve this situation here of the Eight of Swords by some form of truth coming out with that Page of Swords energy showing there, because the Page of Swords is about ready to strike on this person's chains and set them free. So I'm seeing something coming in that's looking like it wants to set you guys free, for those of you that this resonates within the month of November 2017. So Capricorn, what we've got is happiness around the mental and emotional. Nine of Cups. It's saying to me that there is a sense of satisfaction and emotional contentment with that Nine of Cups energy, a wish coming true. Around that, you guys are feeling mentally and emotionally free. You're feeling a sense of relief. You're feeling a sense of rejuvenation and rebirth, and that's because I feel that you've given up on something here with the Four of Cups. I feel that you are no longer invested in whatever this thing is here. You've got the Star in, or somebody might have given up and somebody might have given in with that Four of Cups in the reverse. You've got in your present situation, well, again, the Star in the reverse, it says that the situation is about a hopeless situation with the Star in the reverse, in which what you're experiencing is a change of fortunes with that Wheel of Fortune, or Wheel of the Year in the Witch's Tarot. And that's because there seems to have been some dispute going on with you guys with that Five of Wands, some worries, disputes, obstacles. Around the hopes section here, you guys, well, you are Three of Pentacles. The situation is Three of Pentacles, so you've been studying and focusing on possibly making new connections, or you're focusing on a situation in which you want some form of reward or resolution with that Three of Pentacles. You might have also been working around with others in which your hopes of the Queen of Swords in the reverse, and this is possibly not even with regrets. So sometimes she's just a really annoyed person is the Queen of Swords in the reverse. So you're definitely looking, I feel, to cut something out, cut someone out, and that's that. End of story. And that's because of the King of Cups energy. Might be because of another individual, a water sign, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, but it also might be that you're looking to try and build your emotional strength and health back up with that King of Cups energy, but also because you are possibly sitting in your emotional power. Just because you cut somebody out and you cut them out with severity, it doesn't mean that you can't be emotionally intelligent. It doesn't always mean about hate with the Queen of Swords. You've got to try and blend the cards if you can with tarot. So I do feel that you are hoping to completely cut somebody out because your emotional intelligence is telling you that you need to do that, and also you need to build your emotional strength with that King of Cups. Could also be because of another person. Around your expectations, the Three of Cups could be the situation around a reconciliation. Your expectations are, well, there's no way. Seven of Wands, I would reject that. There's no way that I would never do that. Reconcile maybe with this person, Three of Cups, because what I'm looking to do is set some new intentions and to work on new things, start creating a new reality for myself. Around the hidden factors coming in, well, the situation is about perhaps a long-term relationship or a relationship that was building and growing with that Ten of Pentacles. Around that relationship, what is coming in? Well, the Ten of Swords. It's definitely over with this Ten of Swords coming in around this thing, because the Ten of Swords is it's over, it's finished, ending, death, that's it. And that's because either you or maybe the other person have found new love with this Ace of Cups energy. The immediate future shows a surprise coming in. You've got the Tower energy as the situation, and around that surprise what we've got is this surprise is about some unfinished business with a highly perhaps manipulative individual, King of Cups in the reverse. Okay, now around that surprise we've got the World, so this is about the ending of a cycle. So there's a surprise coming in as a situation, but around that it's going to bring in the ending of a cycle around that surprise, okay, to do with this manipulative individual, because whatever spark has gone out, there's a resolution that this thing is completely over. I mean 100% over, and that's because of the Two of Pentacles. Somebody's been weighing something up here with this Two of Pentacles energy, and that whatever it is that they're weighing up, the situation is about coming out with the truth setting them free, or the truth setting you free. So I feel that somebody might be admitting to something here, especially if it's the partner or the other person who's involved in something new here, for sure. So there's no way that this could ever go back, and certainly for you Capricorn, I feel for some of you guys there's no way that you could ever go back to something here at all. The overall outcome shows the Empress, and I feel that the situation is you guys sitting in your creative power, sitting in the power to start creating new things and start expressing yourself in the way that you want to express yourself, feeling beautiful, feeling good about yourselves with that Empress energy, starting to tend to your gardens again, you know, starting to plant new crops, plant new seeds and watch them grow. And I feel that this is because with the Ten of Wands and the Queen of Cups, you're starting to release any type of emotional investment that you've had in this situation. And around this Queen of this Empress energy, the situation is the Empress, and around that the overall outcome is about severance. So I see prosperity and growth being the situation, but I think it's, you know, around that the situation is about severance in a relationship, and that with this Ace of Swords in the reverse, this is about a relationship that cannot be resolved. This Ace of Swords represents lack of truth, lack of clarity, or stagnation. There's no change. So I'm seeing stagnation, and this stagnation, no resolution with the Ace of Swords in the reverse, bringing problems with that Three of Swords. So there's no way that you guys can go back to something, and I feel there's no way that the partner probably can't go back to something here, okay, and that's because of this King of Pentacles here, okay. This is somebody who is I feel emotionally very responsible, or just very, very self-aware as the King of Pentacles. This could be you or the other person, but I feel that this is showing up because this person here, the Ten of Pentacles in the reverse, okay, this could also be something to do with loss of money as well, because you got two cards that should be prosperous cards showing in the reverse as well. So it could be something to do with inheritances, family money, divorce money, that type of thing with this Ten of Pentacles and in the reverse and the Empress. Alright, so, but also the Ten of Pentacles is about severance in a relationship, showing here, bringing a lack of growth with the Empress energy. Okay, so for some of you guys it might be something around money as well, in terms of a relationship situation, maybe fallings out in terms of money, that type of thing I've got going on here for you guys, because Empress in the reverse means that especially when it comes to money and prosperity, it means something can't prosper. Okay, and also it means that you're using all of the tools that the universe is giving to you, and you're using it for ill. So it might be, and also Ten of Pentacles in the reverse means losing money as well. So it might be a loss of money has brought a lack of fruition or a lack of growth in terms of finances or living standards or that type of thing. So there could be something around, I don't know, divorce issues going on for some of you guys. It feels like a really strong reading for some reason, really heavy, but there's no way that I can see you guys going back to something here. I think you're done and you're dusted, and I think for some of you guys you're really happy to be done and dusted about it. And we do have the overall outcome being this Three of Swords: severance, disappointment, possibly difficult communication, because something here with the Ace of Swords is not being resolved, bringing in this energy of the Three of Swords, and it's based on a King of Pentacles here, and that King of Pentacles is showing up because of the Ten of Pentacles. So maybe this money individual or this partner has been using money for ill. For example, this Ten of Pentacles and the Empress in the reverse, they might have been using your money or the family money for other things except for the family, and maybe there's a dispute. I get the impression for some of you guys there is a dispute over cash going on as well in the month of November 2017, and those things I feel cannot be reconciled at all whatsoever. So I feel that, you know, the truth is coming out in a situation here. It could be also be to do with some form of finance in a relationship where one partner might have been using the family money, the marriage money, whatever it is, the money that you've shared in the home, and they're using it for other purposes potentially. Okay, and that might have caused some form of a dispute, but I'm seeing you coming out of a dispute here. I think that something hadn't been resolved and it's going to get resolved here, but I feel that nevertheless, whatever this resolution is, it's going to leave a little bit of a bitter taste in somebody's mouth here. Even though you're happy to be rid of the situation, I feel, Capricorn, I still feel that there's going to be some form of lack of you know, it's almost like taking the booby prize or something like that. But I feel that there's going to be resolution, definitely, that a relationship is over for some of you guys. Really over. Okay. But I feel that it's over because somebody's done something, possibly with some family money here. They've used money in terms of a relationship for their own gain, or possibly for another individual, for example. Okay, so I'm seeing disputes here. I feel emotionally you're going to reconcile, you're going to resolve something with someone. Okay, albeit you're not going to be together, but you're going to resolve the situation emotionally. Okay, but I feel if there's anything to do with material, money, that type of thing, that it still hangs in the balance. Okay, that's your reading. Let's get your advice card for November. Universe, Spirit, what's the advice you have for Capricorn? What's the advice you have for Capricorn on this reading? Playfulness. To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. Okay, so it's saying to you guys, even though I feel a lot of you guys might be going through a pretty tumultuous time in November, you've reconciled that there's no romance there for you with an individual. You might be with somebody else, they might be with somebody else. I feel that it's saying go out there and be playful and recapture romance and allow your inner youthful spirit to have fun and shine. Okay, spirit of fun to shine. Okay, so don't be afraid to, you know, to still try and recapture the essence of romance, even though I do get some very strong energies and strong feelings in this reading that there is the emotional aspect of this situation is being reconciled, not between you and the other person, but within yourself, and there's a certain amount of acceptance between you and somebody else. I am getting in the reading that if it's anything financial that's going on, it's only because I'm looking at this Ten of Pentacles and the Empress. I don't like them together in the reverse, both reversed. Okay, it's almost like you've lost money somewhere along the line here due to this individual. I'm not seeing, and you can't resolve this here because there's no change, there's no resolution here, and you are kind of letting go of your feelings here with this Ten of Wands and that Queen of Cups. You're no longer emotionally invested here, and that's because of the Ace of Swords in the reverse and the Three of Swords. There is a lack of clarity or a lack of change or a lack of resolution in a situation that's bringing these energies, and it's based on this Ten of Pentacles and the Empress in the reverse, both reverse, and this is loss of finance. Ten of Pentacles, somebody, usually this is an unstable financial situation. Ten of Pentacles in the reverse, bringing in the Empress, and this could be due to overspending with the Empress energy, or using these finances that somebody has within a situation for ill, for bad purposes. So it might be that somebody has used your money, the family money, for ill purposes. And I don't feel that if you have had problems with a partner that has used your finances for ill, or used your joint finances for ill, Capricorn, that you're going to have a good time on that score. Certainly on the emotional aspect, you're not in it anymore. You're done and you're dusted with it. You're finished. You're fed up. Okay, but there might still be something that needs to be resolved with an individual here. Okay, in terms of finances, but on the emotional side, you're fine. You got it. You're getting over it, and you don't want anything to do with them. And that's why it's saying, you know, you can go out and recapture love again. You can go out and find that again. You don't have to kind of hold back on that. All right. Okay, that's your reading, Capricorn. I would like to say thanks ever so much for joining me on Carol's Universe, and have a great day. And I'll see you on your generals. Take care.